I mean, hey, I think if you were to ask any man if he'd want an Islamic wife, a wife who complies, who's not going to cheat, who behaves herself, who dresses modestly, maybe not even completely, full burqa, but dresses modestly, behaves appropriately, shows respect. That whole podcast was about how to try and make females basically act the way they've acted for the longest period of human history up until modern times where they've completely forgotten. And I said, well, Islam fixes it. Because they don't have any of these problems, right? Or we've thrown religion away and we've thrown cultural norms away. We've thrown so many things away, and there's a degree of confusion amongst people. People are lost. They really are, men and women. I think a lot of the Western women act so degenerate, and they don't do it because they're evil. They're doing it because they're trying to find happiness. And they can't find it, right? And they think, oh, maybe a new man's happiness, maybe drinking alcohol is happiness, maybe taking drugs is happiness. And if you don't ever find a higher purpose, you're just going to degenerate in a spiral downwards. And that's kind of what's happened. And now we're in a situation where in the West, a man can't find a wife worth having. And people keep saying, oh, men don't want to be men anymore. Men don't want to get married. Would you marry some chick you meet in the club in Miami? like you'd be a fool. Like, I won't. So it's really interesting how society's degraded, and it's all started at the bottom. It's very hard to find a humble woman who's modest, who wants to have many, many children for a man she obeys and respects in the Western world outside of Islam. Dubai is the least racist place on the planet. I think 90% of the people there are from other places. You can be black, white, Filipinos are there, Vietnamese are there, everyone's there from everywhere. Americans, everyone's there. It's amazing that you have a city which is statistically so safe with all these different people from all these different places, right? And they've done that by just maintaining some kind of social cohesion. You can't have degeneracy all around you 24/7 without degenerating as a person, right? And that's what's happened in the Western world. And we're living in a situation now where if you want to go somewhere where you know that you can exist in a wholesome environment, I mean that when you go outside, you're going to see families, man, woman, some children. It's going to be fairly wholesome. You're not going to see any kind of degeneracy. You're not going to see anything strange, anything weird. You're not going to see like any of the crazy crap you would see walking down a street in LA. You're just not going to see it. And Dubai tries very, very hard to prevent degeneracy while also allowing people from all around the world to come live in safety and work hard and make a good life for themselves. And they've done it all under the guise of Islam. I have so much respect for that, right? And you go to these poor countries, but because people, like we just discussed, because people are religious, because people have a higher purpose, because they see beyond the material goods of only this world, it's a very safe place to be. I've been to these places and I feel completely, perfectly safe. Yes, of course I could get my hand chopped off if I'm an idiot. But why? But I would rather exist in a society where I know the lines and I know the boundaries and I know how I get myself in trouble and not do it than exist in New York City where I can be obeying the law and just be in the wrong place at the wrong time and get a drive-by. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
These places are absolutely safe, and they're safe because they've maintained the basic structure of family, the basic structure, and the basic structure. That's all it is. When you maintain the basic structure of family, you maintain the basic structure of society.
Yep.
And that's all it is, right? And it's kind of amazing as well in first world Muslim nations when you maintain the family structure. People also don't want to bring shame upon their family. So the family do a lot of policing. They don't want to have a member of their family that's out there committing crime, right? So like the West is broken on so many levels. And that's what I was kind of saying in that video is that a lot of the problems are fixed by Islam as a whole. And the first world Muslim nations are proof of it. I think a lot of people think that Muslim countries are dangerous because of a lot of the war in the Middle East. But the war in the Middle East is propagated by the West anyway. That's America's fault. So, it's crazy, really.